Good morning. Welcome to today's yoga class. Let's get started on our mats. I think I'll stay here for a minute. Talk to you from here. So wriggle your buttocks flesh away. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Turn your palms up on your lap and close your eyes. Actually, I'm going to change that. Bring your hands to your lower belly. Take a moment to connect to the environment around you. Just energetically feel what's going on in the room, as well as hearing all the sounds. Then bring your awareness closer in. Notice your body sitting on the floor, the feel of the air and the clothing against your skin. And bring your awareness down into your belly, taking some nice, slow yogic belly breaths, letting the belly drop on the inhale, squeezing it back on the exhale. So this yogic belly breath turns on your vagus nerve, your relaxation response. And as you focus on your breathing to quiet any feelings of fear or anxiety, a line from the yogic literature has been playing in my head. And it's funny because it's not one that I've been using for most of my practice, but it's been popping up a lot lately. And the line is, a little of this yoga delivers from great fear. A little of this yoga delivers from great fear. And we can spend hours discussing what that means, but we won't. However, we're going to use our asana practice to embody that yogic phrase. We're going to experience how when we ground ourselves and connect to the earth and connect to our center, which is what we're doing right now, that gives us the stability and the calmness to then rise up in strength, power, courage, and open-heartedness. So we're going to do all of the warrior poses today. And I hope you brought a block or a pillow or some other prop to class, which we'll be using later in the morning. Okay, I'm going to go back to my mat, and we'll start with some pranayama. So our breath is one of the ways we can calm and center ourselves. So let's do some Nadi Shodhana today, alternate nostril breathing. So you pick up your right hand, so you're not mirroring me this one time, and then turn the hand to face you. Close off the nostril with the nearest thumb. Inhale. Close off both nostrils. Release the thumb, exhale. Inhale. Close. Release the fingers, exhale. Inhale, same side. Close. Exhale. Continue at your own pace. We learned last week that the nadis are the energy channels in the body, and that we have 72,000 nadis. And so Nadi Shodhana is an equalizing breath that balances both halves of the brain and moves the energy in a balanced way through our body. So one more minute on your own. And on an exhale, let the breath find its own level. Notice how you feel. Bring your awareness down into your sitting bones and connect to the earth. Feel that stability, that security. Inhale up the spine, draw your belly in and up, draw the pelvic floor in and up. Feel the stability and support you have there. Bring the energy up into your heart. Feel your shoulders relax and your chest expand. Feel the safety of having an open heart when you are supported and grounded. Bring that energy up into your third eye, giving you a sense of intuition and knowledge of the bigger picture. And breathe all the way up into the crown of your head, feeling your connection to source, whatever that is for you. When we align ourselves with all of our chakras open, connecting to the earth and the heavens, that's another way that a little of this yoga delivers us from great fear. So staying in that place of centeredness, groundedness, and connection. Let's do some warm-ups. Let's start with that infinity pose, which is another reminder that we are connected to all that is, moving through that still point in the middle. And coming back to center, let's lower the ear to one side. And let's push the wall away with the opposite hand. Breathe into that stretch. And come back to center. Let's bring the ear to the other side and push the wall away. And back to center. Let's rotate the head. And rotate back. And back to center. Let's bring the shoulders up, the head back. Open and close the jaw. And side to side. And release. And we'll just do some easy shoulder circles. And circle the other way. Let's bring our elbows in and we'll read the newspaper, but make sure we're reading the comics and the positive news, not just all that scary stuff. And if you do read that scary stuff, remember to ground and center and know that it's not the whole picture. And bringing the hands back out, let's open. If we're fanning something, the wrists can go back too. So we're working the elbows, the shoulders, the wrists. And then let's just touch one finger to the thumb So each part of our finger wakes up a different part of our brain. I mean, each finger to our thumb wakes up a different part of our brain. So we're again engaging our wholeness, not getting stuck in some small vision of what's going on. And let's just shake that out. Let's bring the hands to the knees. And we'll do some rounding. Inhale, lifting, opening the chest. Exhale, curl. Inhale, open. Back to center, and let's do some side stretches, opening from side to side. And come back to stillness. Observe the body and the breath. Feel your connection to the earth, your stability, your security, supporting an open heart and an expanded mind. And we'll come to a spinal twist. And come back to center. And we'll just continue moving easily in a spinal twist from side to side. And back to center. Notice the groundedness, the centeredness, the expansion of heart and mind. And let's pick up a leg, and we'll open and close the knee. And circle. And circle back the other way. And then either one hand supporting you, either holding the leg or the foot. Open and close the hip joint. Bring that leg in and we'll change sides. Pick up the other leg. Open and close the knee. And circle. And reverse. And then one hand supporting you, either holding the back of your leg or your foot. Let's open and close. And bring that again. Let's come to Baddha Konasana, and we'll wiggle our toes. Clap your toes or wiggle them. Let's bring the hands to the floor and back. Press the knees down. Lift the chest, stretch up. Big heart opening here. Feel your connection to the earth to help you rise up. Centered and grounded, giving you the confidence and courage to have an expanded heart, an expanded mind. And then we'll come forward over the legs. Inhale up. Bring the hands to the floor in back of you and either lift the chest or you feel to it, lift the hips, arcing back. Come back to Baddha Konasana. Interlace your hands behind you or bring your hands to your ankles. Coming into Yoga Mudra if that works for you. Inhale back up. And let's flip the knee the other way. Take a nice deep breath and come into a spinal twist here. Or come down onto your elbows. Or all the way down, straightening your leg and your arm. Inhale back up. Take a breath here. And flip the knees the other way. And if you're sitting up and looking over your shoulder, it's called deer pose. But if you're all the way down on the floor with the leg extended, you're in a variation of dying warrior. And warrior and warrior, I think, are so interestingly intertwined. But the warrior is dying. So I'm thinking, again, the end of fear. Play with that if you like. So either looking over your shoulder in deer pose, or coming down onto your elbows, or all the way down, and then stretching your leg in the same arm, turning away from that straight arm and leg. Inhale back up. One more time, let's come to Baddha Konasana. Feel your connection to the earth, your center, openness of your heart and mind. And let's press onto our hands and knees and come back into child pose. Let's inhale up. We'll do some cat and dog, opening up the spine a little bit more. And come back to center. And let's bring the right foot through. And we'll come into a low lunge and a toe hamstring stretch. Come into our lunge, dropping the hips. You're going to come up into a warrior one, so hands to the thigh first. Find your drishti. If you feel safe here, bring your arms out into goddess or into steeple. Draw the perineum up, draw the lower belly in and up. And if you feel safe, arc back. Nice open heart based on your connection to the earth, your connection to your center. Feeling the safety here. Come back into our goddess warrior arms, and we're going to turn. Warrior here. You can stay with the mudra. Thumb and forefinger touching, 3 fingers extended. Come into a warrior pose here. And then we'll come into a twist, warrior twist. Inhale back to center. Bring your hands behind you, yoga mudra. And arc back if you can, if you feel safe. Dropping your hips a little more to create a stable connection to the earth. And we'll come back into child. And take a few breaths here, taking in what we've done so far. Let's come back up into table. We'll bring the other foot through and we'll do some low lunge, toe hamstring stretch. Moving with the breath. And let's come into our lunge. And the hands to the thigh. So the knee is over the heel. Shoulders are down and back. Stay here. Come into goddess arms, or interlace your hands the weird way for steeple, opposite way that you're used to. Find your drishti either here, or if you feel safe, arcing back. Bring that wonderful open heart to the situation. Looking up past your eyebrows, opening your third eye, seeing the bigger picture. And coming back up. I think we did the Yoga Mudra now, I'm not sure. Interlace your hands the weird way, coming into Yoga Mudra. We might have done it at the end, but that's okay. And if you can't look up, just look forward. Inhale back up. Coming into goddess arms, we'll come into our warrior two. And come back the other way, coming into our warrior twist. Yeah, I think we did do Yoga Mudra at the end. That's okay. Back to center and down, and back into chakra. Take a few breaths here. And let's make our way to standing through downward facing dog if that works for you. Reach your arms out. Spread your fingers wide and ground through your hands. Come on up. Turn your toes over. Draw your belly in. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Coming into a little bit of a dog tilt here. Let's lift the knees and hover for a breath. And then press the hips back over the knees. And then straighten the legs if you can. Lifting the tailbone. Let's press one heel to the floor and bend the other knee forward. And then change sides. Keep reaching your thighs back, your hips back, lengthening your spine. Feel your connection to the earth through your palms and through the parts of your feet that are touching the earth. And then we'll slowly walk into a forward fold. You can do a nice deep forward fold. Knees bent, chest on your thighs, let your head go. And then bring your hands to your thighs and roll up. We're going to come to Tadasana, but instead of our hands like this or in Anjali Mudra, we're going to put our hands over our lower belly. Rounding through the feet, spread the toes. Draw the kneecaps and the tailbone, and the pelvic floor up, the tailbone down. The lower belly in and up. Side ribs lifted, front ribs tucked. Shoulders down, back of the neck long. Eyes open or closed. Feel your connection to the earth. Feel your connection to your center, breathing into your hands. And we're going to go into a nice, slow variation of half salute. We'll hook our thumbs. Inhale, reach up. Inhale, arc back. Look up if that works for you. Exhale, come forward into chair pose. Come over into a forward fold. Swing your arms around behind you and come into Yoga Mudra. Swing your arms back around in front of you, coming into awkward pose. Looking up past your hands if you can. Inhale up. Hook your thumbs the other way. All mountain. Arc back. Come forward into chair pose. Surrender over. Forward fold. Swing your arms around behind you. Interlace your hands the weird way for Yoga Mudra. Bring your hands back down, swing around in front, coming into awkward pose. Inhale back up. And bring your hands all the way down to your belly. All right, Warrior Series, Warrior 1. Starting at the top of our mat. Step the right foot back at an angle. Inhale the arms into goddess pose. If you like, bring your hands up overhead in steeple pose and arc back. Inhale back into goddess pose. Goddess arms anyway. And swing forward. Are you noticing your heart beating? I'm almost feeling a little anxiety. How are you doing? Grounding and centering to help with that anxiety. And we'll step the other leg back. Finding your Warrior 1. Bring your hands into Goddess Mudra. Stay here or swing your arms up into steeple pose, interlacing your fingers the weird way, which I'm getting used to both ways now, so I can't figure out the weird way. And if you feel safe to arc back. And inhale. Bring your hands behind you, interlace your hands the weird way for yoga. We didn't do yoga yet. I'm sorry. Going back to goddess, we'll get to the other one. And step forward. Warrior two. Step out nice and wide. Find our 5-pointed star, find our goddess pose, arms. And we'll turn our toes and reach out. Coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Then connection to the earth, connection to your center. Gives you the strength and courage to be a powerful warrior, standing in your own power. And let's swing that arm around. We'll come back into a goddess warrior one. And you might want to lift your heel and come into a lunge pose as you come into your running warrior or warrior twist. Draw your knees towards the midline for support and balance. Come back, put your foot on the floor, come back to center. And down, toe heel back to center. Hands on your belly. Step out, 5-pointed star, coming into goddess, and coming into warrior pose. And we're going to swing around into warrior one. Goddess arms. And then you might want to lift your heel here, pull your knees towards the midline for warrior twist. And back into warrior one. Goddess arms. And back into goddess. And toe heel back to center. Hands on your belly. Awareness dropping into your belly, your calm center. Going into humble warrior, let's step out once again. Goddess arms. Warrior two. Bring your hands behind you in Yoga Mudra. Lift the chest. And you're either in ski jump or all the way down, shoulder inside your knee. Inhale back up. Toes come in, goddess arms. Reach out, toe heel back. Center. And step out once again, 5-pointed star. Well, start goddess arms. And then 5-pointed star, rotate into warrior 2. Turn, bring your hands behind you into less than unusual way, coming into humble warrior here, or here, or here. And inhale, bone up. And back into goddess. And toe heel back to center. And we'll end our standing series with goddess warrior. So coming into a second position ballet, press your thighs and knees back, tuck your tailbone, bring your elbows back, coming into your mudra. And let's go for the whole thing. Deep breath in, exhale. Eyes popped, mouth open, tongue out, and making as loud a noise as you feel safe in the environment that you're in. Little release, wet your tongue, inhale. Soften, relax, deep breath in. Chasing away all the demons. Making as scary a face as you can. Deep breath. Last one. And relax your face, and we'll hold here. Turning it into a balancing pose if you want to lift your heels. And release, 5-pointed star, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Come back to center. You're good for one more, warrior 3. If you need to hold on to a table or a wall or a chair or coffee table, whatever, you can do warrior 3 with your hands on a prop, or starting at the back of your mat. Inhaling up, stepping forward on your right foot. Take a moment to shift your weight, lift your back heel, draw your belly in and up. Find your drishti and let the drishti come in closer to your foot as you tip over into warrior 3. Then you can have your hands on a table or a support or the wall, whatever works for you. And come back to center. Okay, other side. Finding Tadasana. Inhaling up, interlace your hands the opposite way, steeple pose, step forward. Lift your heel, ground yourself, find your drishti, and when you're ready, coming over. And shake it out, and then come back to center. Okay, go grab your props, your pillow or your block or whatever you brought. I'm going to add my socks. Come on down onto your mats, on your back. Take a few breaths, taking in what you've done so far. And again, you can have your blanket or socks or anything else ready too, because we're going to get a reward for all the hard work we did. So taking a few breaths first. And you can bring your hands to your belly. Rounding and centering through your back body. And awareness in your lower belly. And we're going to set up for a supported fish pose. So, depending on what you brought, you can have one prop underneath your chest so that you're lifting your heart. Arms can be out in goddess pose or all the way out. Or if that's not intense enough, you can put a block under your pillow. Or if that's too intense, you can put a block under your head. So it's not quite as intense an opening. You want to have your heart open, your chest expanded. Cover yourself if you need to. You can have your legs straight, or if you like, you can bring the soles of your feet together in goddess pose. You can have your arms out to the side or on your belly. I'm liking out to the side better because it opens the heart. And we'll stay here for a while. Just resting in open-heartedness, fearlessness brought about by our connection to earth and our center. So a little of this yoga delivers from great fear. And when fear starts to overtake you, drop your awareness, Feel your connection to the earth and then into your belly, coming into your center. You can stay in this position till the end of class, or gently roll off your props and come into Shavasana. You can stay here as long as you like, but when you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your head from side to side and move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. Eventually roll to one side and make your way to a seated position. Namaste.